Xander came of age in the shadows of a war he never saw, only the trails of those who ran from it. His mother was born in Ebeni, a land divided by more lines and loyalties than maps could track. The conflict she fled wasn't clean, and it wasn't remembered with parades. Just another territorial struggle between tribes and rival city-states, the kind of war that leaves more ash than memory. She was a warrior by birth, but a survivor by necessity, and when Ebeni started to collapse inward, she crossed the sea space to Kanum. There, she was drafted into the Xandur Ward, a force trained not for glory but for endurance. They were the last line of defense against the Rinja, swallowing the land mile by mile. To be Xandur Ward was to walk towards death carrying a flame, and leave nothing behind but smoke and scorched names. Xander was still a child when she was sent into the Rotlands and never came back. No grand farewell, no relic to inherit, just a flame-treated cloak left behind and a father who couldn't stop sinking. His father had once been a merchant in Kanum, but by the time his wife was gone, he'd lost more than just her. Debts piled up, deals went bad, reputation frayed into pity. Xander grew up watching the man unravel slowly, held together by paper-thin pride and half-spoken promises. So Xander took it upon himself to keep them fed, keep them afloat. He learned how to lie well and move fast. At first it was just odd jobs, deliveries, pit runs, stolen fruit in markets where no one would look too closely. But eventually the work got darker, the stakes higher. By his teens he had a reputation for being fast, clever, and dangerous if cornered. He fought in the underground arenas when coin ran dry. He smuggled relics for scavenger lords who barely knew his name. He flirted, stole, negotiated, and dodged his way through Kanum's underbelly. Not because he enjoyed it, but because someone had to pay the debts his father couldn't. And then one day, the pattern broke, and that's when he met Sky Lee. She wasn't the first pirate to walk into Kanum's decaying trade circles, but she was the first who offered him a cut of the gold and asked what he wanted in return. No threats, no orders, and just an invitation. He didn't trust her at first, and why would he? But the job was good, the pay better, and something about her, her confidence, and her cause pulled him in before he realized what he had signed up for. So he joined the crew of the Starfish Lovers, a pirate vessel with a purpose far bigger than smuggling spices or stolen artifacts. They were rescuers, smugglers of people, ferrying the LGBTQ refugees out of intolerant reefs, dodging patrols and bigotry in equal measure. On paper, Xander is their quartermaster. He handles supplies, coordinates trade, tracks resources, and even keeps the crew fed and refueled. But that only scratches the surface. In reality, he's the one who sweet-talks a blockade port captain into looking the other way, the one who flirts his way into discounted ammo, or flips into a deadly spin kick mid-negotiation when diplomacy fails. He can crack open a ration barrel or a rib cage, and he's terrifyingly good at both. He still sends money back to his father, not because he believes in the man's redemption, but because no one else will. It's what his mother would have done, and maybe that's the part of her he carries that never burned away. There's a steadiness to Xander that others don't name out loud, the kind that comes from surviving things that don't leave clean scars. He doesn't bring up Ebeni or the day the Rotlands turned his life to ash, but it's there in the way he moves through the world, careful, watchful, always 2 steps ahead of whatever's coming next. He's sharp, dry-witted, sometimes reckless, but he's never aimless. And though the ship runs on many hands, it's Toms like Xander who keep it facing forward. Not through command, but through presence, a fire that endures even when the rest of the world forgets what it's burning for. Thank you everyone for tuning in to today's Fan Friday, and thank you Bone Thief for introducing Xander to the crew, as it is an utmost pleasure to have him aboard. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing for more lore related to Starfish Lovers. These Fan Fridays are hosted in honor for our patrons over on Patreon, so thank you Aquastorm Heart, Whisper, The Eldritch Darling, Chai T, Animal, Bone Thief, That One Comic Guy, Game Brenwin, Keel Adams, Sorellos, Alice Elizabeth, Michael Acevedo, Koi Fish, Moniconi, and Nicole Crafts for being members and for supporting the comic. I'll see you all in the next video, and don't forget to make room, break the mold, and keep going.